ass with your dumb ass.
All in the nod.
Cool. Yo, super excited that we're here. You're not gonna believe where we at, y'all, but we at the new dope ass spot in the district. The #1 rated outdoor bar in Washington, D.C.
Number one
rated outdoor bar right here in Washington, D.C., the Metro Bar, man. And we got the privilege of sitting here with, we got Rich, the GM here at Metro Bar, and the man behind these specialty cocktails that we're sipping on right now, and co-founder Matt, who is also the brains behind the construction aspect of a lot of this stuff. I'm sure he got some architectural design involved with this place as well. But yo, we super excited, fellas, to be here with y'all. Of course, it's your boy Steezo, the homie B Boys, O-double with the trouble. The Bourbon Boyz is here with none other than the Metro Car family, man. Appreciate y'all for having us, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate y'all for having us, man.
Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, man.
Beautiful opportunity.
Yeah, man. Excited about it. So we can get started, man. So listen, I think the first thing I want to start off by saying is, as a Washingtonian, man, in all my years in DC, I've never seen anything like this place where we at.
Shit, I'm from Big One, ain't seen nothing like this. It's amazing.
This place is a unicorn in Washington, DC, and that's hard to do. It's a lot of creative folks that are out here that do a lot of slick stuff when it comes to trying to attract people that just want to patron their space, man, whether it be just to enjoy the music, if it's a food space, if it's drinks, music, whatever. What you guys did here was amazing, man. It was amazing. So if you can start us off by just
Ho. First of all,
okay.
We are in a Metro cab. Metro car.
Sitting in one.
We're in a car. I mean, fuck, we might take off. But go ahead, bro.
So we gonna dig into all of that, man. What makes this place unique in itself? Tell us a little bit about, what more or less was behind the idea of coming up with an idea like this, man, that led to you guys taking on this joint venture.
So my two other partners, Jesse and John, they were drinking bourbon one night, no less.
Of course.
We're just talking through like what are the most iconic things in this city, kind of outside of the monuments.
Right.
And then the first thing that came to mind was Metro car, Metro in general, and then the conversation continued. Well, do you think we could put a bar in one?
Damn.
And then
just big thinking, man.
Just crazy, bourbon and.
What bourbon was this thing?
I don't know. I don't. Because I wasn't there.
It was Michter.
Yes, that was definitely.
What was it?
Michter's.
Michter's. Okay.
Yes, Jesse enjoys his Michters, and so that's most likely what it was, for sure.
Shout out to Michters.
Yeah, and so from there, I slept on it a little bit, and then John reached out to me like a couple days later, and we had coffee, and was like, hey, I had this crazy idea, tossing around, thinking about maybe can we put a bar inside of a Metro car? Like, do you want to be involved? And I was like, well, how do you want me to be involved? Because at the time, I'm still a consultant, and I was like, do you want me to consult, or like can I get in the deal? And he was like, you can get in the deal if you want. I was like, I want in the deal. So that's kind of how it really kind of started, and then it just kind of rolled from there.
That is crazy, man. So, like, another quick question.
Sure.
Like, now, the three of you, John, and Jesse, vocationally, prior to doing something like this on a venture like this, was there something behind the scenes where you're like, yeah, this makes sense because we all have experience here, or was this just lightning in a bottle?
I think it's a little of both. I mean, for me personally, like I had always said I never wanted to get an F&B because from a construction real estate perspective, you see places open and close rather quickly. Like you pick the wrong location, the wrong time, and you can sink a bunch of money into a fixed location and then go belly up because the people just aren't there and you're in the wrong spot.
I'm sorry, bro. Location, indoor, outdoor, this shit is fly.
Could you do this for me?
Sure.
Because a lot of our audience, you got a lot of people who want to start businesses possibly.
Sure.
Can you walk us through, not everything, but some of the nuts and bolts of actually what it took to get from conception to
creation?
Totally. So for us, we first we had to sit down. We came up with our operating agreement between the three of us just to hash everything out because John and I have been friends for a long time. I didn't know Jesse until this venture, but John knew Jesse. It's just, business is business. Always make sure you cross your T's and dot your I's just to make sure that everything's good to go there. And then from there, we had to get our cash straight to be able to get things started. We had to procure the Metro cars, right? Like talking about it, it's a great idea. Then we had to get our hands on it.
Right.
Once we got our hands on it, Then we had to figure out, well, where are we going to put this thing? Even before we got our hands on it, we started to talk to people about locations. That was very tough. A lot of people didn't take us seriously until we got the cars. Then we got the cars. We started to do work on them because we had idea of kind of what needed to happen. And then we got our site, we signed our lease, then we got our plans, permits, built it, a lot of work, inspections, and then, you know, got open. I mean, honestly, like, we just got our final inspections on this car this morning. So, you know, we've been open the rest of the site earlier just because this is so unique. It took a lot of work to actually make it a reality.
Yeah. What is this, 2.5 years?
2.5 years. I mean, we started, in all honesty, the conversation started in 2019. And then just all through, like, COVID hit, it really kind of slowed things down for us, but it allowed us to kind of think through the concept more. And then when we got open, 2021?
No,
Yeah.
we've been open 2 years, so 21.
Yeah, 2021. Yeah, so 2021, we started off kind of slow rolling. We did a couple of weekends, and then we got into it. But it's been a long road, and this is just taking time to get this open and now to a level that we're happy to, like, show people for the first time, quite frankly.
Speaking of the first time, listen, by the way, first time this space is being used or occupied for anything, whether it's a rental, pop-up, tasting, the Bourbon Boyz first here in the Metro Bar. There's history being made right here, man.
Yeah.
So we appreciate that too. You know, I know some of it is just, hey, red tape that led to us being in here, but more importantly,
it's a lightning in the bottle, man.
Lightning in the bottle.
Timing is everything, right? Like, you just can't make it up, right? Like, that's just, like, the world works in crazy ways, and so here we are.
Right.
This is the event, like, that we're about to do next. 2 weekends from now.
Crazy enough, you know, speaking to you, man, you hit a light bulb when you were like, you know, hey guys, I don't usually go out to promoters, man. Like, we seek the promotion. Like, we don't just let nobody roll up and just throw a function in. I'm like, holy shit, you know, shit. That was special.
That's dope, and it speaks to what we talked about earlier. Kind of like our vibe. We're not gonna force the vibe. We're not gonna force the energy. You know, we find something that we like, and we partner with things that we like that fit our frequency.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yes.
That's equally as important as anything that we come together to do together, right?
Yeah.
So I agree wholeheartedly. Rich, speaking of lighting in the bottle and light bulbs and magic and shit coming together, what the hell did you do to make this drink come together, man?
Talk to us, man.
Honestly, it's just a classic cocktail. That is a whiskey smash.
A whiskey smash.
Yeah.
You want to give a little details to what you put in this?
Yeah. So, I mean, it's fresh muddled lemon, expressed mint. There's some simple syrup though. We make a sage syrup here at Metro Bar. That's what's in there.
Oh, okay.
And then we use Copper Fox rye.
Copper Fox rye.
Shout out to Copper Fox,
Shout out,
Virginia.
We was out there, man.
Williamsburg.
Was in that distillery, man.
And Rich, so as far as working, like, you as a drink specialist, right?
Curator.
A curator of cocktails, right? What, like, when you're thinking about keeping in mind the concept of Metro Bar, right? Where do you tie in what your drink philosophy to the concept of the space?
It's multi-layered.
It's a good question, though.
It's a great question.
Yeah, no, it's true. But like, I already started off in a creative box, right? I have to work local. I have to use local distilleries. On top of that, like, I always want to work with, like, quality ingredients. Fresh squeezed juices.
It tastes fresh as a motherfucker.
Right, and
Shit.
like high quality spirits as well.
Yeah.
High quality.
The other challenge was, like, everything local is in smaller production, so it's not as value rich in terms of, like, just like how much money you're spending as like something like Bacardi or like some of these other large.
Right.
So that was it. Like, how do I celebrate the spirits around here while you know making something delicious, and also on top of that, like, all the things that make me, right? Because I'm trying to also artistically express myself.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
Huge Metro Bar. The biggest selling point was like the celebration of like local artists, right?
I love that. I love that part about you guys, man. I fucking love it, man.
Absolutely. Like, one of the first piece, it was just trap all over this the majority wall of the space, right? Just I think, what was that, like the first 2 weeks?
Yeah, like the train car wasn't even here yet. Like it was just, the site was pretty much wide open. There was almost a desert out there. Like, but she was out with her projector, like projecting her image up on the wall and just painting the whole space. So like from that corner to here, it's like almost 100 and something feet of like just straight mural that she did for us. It's amazing. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Dope.
So Rich, do you get like a group of serious bourbon drinkers or cocktail drinkers that you'll say, come on man, come on out and try these new mixtures that I put together, and they tell you honestly, I fuck with that, or that shit wasn't all that, or that's the shit, or that's for the ladies. Like, you get a breakdown?
I get it. I mean, you get it from a lot of angles. So I'll start with the negatives first, right? Most of the entire site, we're doing plastic cups. Plastic cups are thin.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, if I put those cocktails in one of our 9-ouncers, it would be like, what the hell is this?
What the hell is this?
Yeah.
a
Which
different
is like
feel.
part of the challenge, and the thing that like I'm countering against that, right, is one, yes, how we're presenting it, but two, like, again, like the quality. Like if you taste it and if you drink it and it's like, oh no, this is actually the real deal. Like I haven't had these flavors before, or I've had these, like this similar experience at a different bar that takes their cocktail seriously. That's part of the balancing act, right?
So that challenge of making the cocktail trump what is being served in and what people customarily are used to.
That's the hard part.
No
You know
doubt,
what I mean?
no doubt.
That's the hard part. And some people will still say, it's a great cocktail, but small portions. And I'm like, but it wasn't.
Right.
It's just good.
Yeah. So like I'll challenge people sometimes. I'm like, all right, have this drink and come back to me for the second one and see how you feel.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, like we have this cocktail about the 3-day weekend that literally has 2 rums. One of them is a Navy strength rum. You know what I mean? And like I know what's going into it. So it's like one of those things. Like, oh, this is cool. I'm just like, all right, come back to me again after the second drink. I was, oh yes, I understand. So, okay, gotcha.
So can I flip this a bit now? Normally this is what we always do with Beats, Bars, and Bourbon.
Yeah.
The Boys presents. Give me your favorite drink. Your favorite bourbon, and what song or music does that bourbon put you in the mind of? I'm gonna let you go first.
Oh wow, put me on the spot.
Yeah.
My favorite bourbon. You know what's? I'm gonna just go with something fairly consistent,
Your
like
favorite.
and like.
Don't even think about it. Your favorite. Your shit.
Let him think through it, man. You gotta
No,
think through
I
it.
mean, this is a serious question. Like,
Right,
define favorite, because like, it's not the most expensive bourbon in my collection that I have, to be honest. Like, 'cause there's like some crazy stuff where it's like, oh, that's good. But like, if I'm gonna go to the well, there's a 4 Roses like private select that's only like a price point of like $60 a bottle, and like, it's just super consistent and just on point all the time, right?
What music is going through your mind when you sip it?
Oh boy. That's
That's a loaded question.
You want
a very loaded question.
You want me to come back to you?
Look, it's probably, oh man.
Or even if it's in a creative space, like
And it don't have to be rap neither, man.
No. It for me, it's probably honestly like Shine Down, Simple Man.
okay.
So it's a cover, but that song and the lyricist there, like you can feel every note, everything that he's saying. It's just very like in your body, and so like for me, like that's like how it is, right? Like
That's dope. That's dope.
It's a normal, regular, like just everyman sort of bourbon, and that's like
That's dope,
kind of
man.
how.
That's dope.
I don't know.
Is it neat? Is it on the rocks?
I'm the majority of the time I'm always neat,
Okay.
just straight up in a Glencairn and call it done. Like I'm not messing with too much ice.
Your favorite.
Yeah. Where you at, Rich? Where you at?
So I'm not gonna answer the question the way you want me to.
There you go. Of course he's not. Go switch it up.
Shit.
You start off the guys. Honestly, like I like the mouthfeel of like a old school, old fashioned, right?
Okay.
So
All
you
right.
actually have to like muddle, and there's sugar and like granulated sugar involved, and you know you're taking the bitters there.
You're a curated cocktail motherfucker, man.
I love it.
You might be the king, man.
And I like the high proof bourbon with that. But like it's one of those things. You like if you get a really good one, you pay $18 and for and like you're sipping it. And honestly, like I don't know if y'all remember "Ride Slow" with Kanye West.
Oh yeah.
So the remix though with T.I. at the end.
Not the one with Paul Wall?
I remember the one with
Listen,
T.I.
he's in it. Paul Wall's in there, but T.I. is the remix, right?
Yeah,
I like that.
So
I like
and it's
that.
like one of those things like when you're drinking an old fashioned and you're going through it and you've got all those like layers going through and it's diluting while you're drinking it and it keeps on changing and then you get to the end and it's like that sweet, just like that sweet spot. Like T.I. has like his own flow.
You answered the question. That's how you do it. Yo, he might be one of the first.
You know what he did?
Yes, I saw
He
it.
took our bourbon. The bourbon tasting. We did a bourbon tasting where we compared the bourbons to songs.
And what we was thinking about while we were drinking it.
Yeah.
And
So that was
you just did that. You just did that. That was amazing.
That was perfect. That was perfect. I like that. Yours was dope too, man. Yours was dope too. But he gave us dope.
No, there's a reason why he's on the team. Like, let's be honest. Like, I know what I know, and I know what I don't know. I know what I like, right?
Talk about it. Like when forming this team, because you're a humble guy. And I've noticed that since we met. And you've got that thing where you understand that
Them sneakers ain't humble.
Sneakers ain't humble.
I gotta hire people who are better. The sneakers ain't humble.
They sick.
So talk to us about that process of putting a team together and getting the right guys.
So when the three of us were sitting down and talking through, we knew that we needed, like, what we're trying to do, connecting all of the city, all 8 wards, bringing everybody together. We needed the right team to be able to do that, right?
Yeah.
And so we actually, this is something that you pinged me about earlier, like we actually reached out to DMV Black Restaurant Week to talk about staffing and because they have a wide reach in the city. And through those conversations, Rich's name was brought to us, and like we interviewed him, and essentially at the end, like he actually interviewed us. Because he's like, I don't know who these 3 guys are. Like, is this going to be a right fit for me? Like he asked some very pointed questions in the interview, and they were great questions, just in terms of like who we are as a team, like the three partners, and what we were trying to do and accomplish, and. It just seemed like we got off the call and I was texting, John, like, no, that's the dude. Like, we need get the offer out the door. Like, let's go. Like, that's the guy that we need. And like, it's just like when you sit down and you meet people, like, right? Like, you either know that like we're gonna do this thing or we're not, right? I mean, then that's just kind of how it came together in the moment. It was just like he's the right guy.
This was the shit, brother.
Thank you.
This might be right at the old fashioned right now.
I appreciate that.
Let's keep smashed.
The mint,
No, the mint's
the
on
fresh
point.
lemon.
You like that mint hitting your nose?
Yes, no,
Listen,
every time.
I need another one. Listen, whenever we go off, I need a fucking another one.
I got the mint. I got it. I got the lemon. I got everything.
Just the perfect.
Okay. Should we give it a break here real quick? Wrap it up. 2 minutes left. Yo, you know what? And speaking of that, and the fact that you had reached out to DC Black Restaurant Week to help in the staffing and whatnot, clearly it's been a concerted effort by you and your partners to do everything local, right?
Yes.
So, Rich, you spoke earlier about working through, the different spirits and all of them being locally distilled. Obviously, these DMV Black Restaurant Week, looking for someone local who knows the area. But what is it? What motivates you to really push that local support for businesses and it be kind of central to what you guys created here?
I mean, I'm a transplant. John is from here, born and raised. Jesse's a transplant, but all of us, like at this point, like this is our home. We appreciate everything great about the city, and we just, I don't know, it was just something for us where we were just like, we want to create a spot that is about the city, like showcasing everything that's great about this city and having it be a place that transplants or natives, well, they can just come and hang out and feel comfortable. And so in order to do that, like you just have to stay local, right? Like if it's going to be for the city and every part of the city, touching all 8 wards, like that was kind of one of the things, like to your question earlier about like what it is to start a business. Like we had to come up with like, sure, an operating agreement and all that, but it was, what's the vision? What are we trying to create? And once you set that, like that's what you go off of to do everything else.
That's the framework.
Right. And so from that was like, we're going to create a space. It's going to be about DC. and connecting all people. And so
And a
from
fucking
there, like
retro car.
it was like this just makes sense, right? And like then it just kind of starts to like snowball and come together, and here we are.
Man,
Like,
well, bro,
that's
So
just what
speaking
it
of here
is.
we are, earlier you just had this look. I looked in your face, you saw it setting up, and you just had this look of just joy. Like,
yes.
like I've done this. Like,
Hey,
like
listen,
the
I was gonna
car's
touch on that
open,
shit, though.
The car's open.
He had a glare in his
damn,
eye.
Our vision is coming into fruition. How the hell does that feel? Like you guys spent a few
Both of
years
you, right? This is,
putting it together.
This guy built it, man. You gotta. I mean,
No, I mean,
I
it's,
saw what it looked like when they were working in here too, man. Like,
it's taken a
What's the
while.
feeling,
No, I
man?
mean,
What's the feel?
it's nice to, because I've lived like in this space for 3 years and been asked the question for 3 years, like, when's it gonna be done? When's it gonna be done? And then to have you guys come in and just be like, oh my, like this is like, look at this, like that, like
You know
I'm
what's
good,
crazy?
like I'm good, because
You-
that means that like I did what my part of this
No doubt.
business was, right? Like that's what I brought to the table.
You know,
So-
you know what's crazy and amazing?
It's a mic
As
drop.
we sitting here speaking, we share too much kinetic energy right here. One, the way you guys put it together is the way we put Beats, Bars, and Bourbon together. The other kinetic energy is every single bottle that you have on that table. We've done a podcast in the distillery or where they, you know, District Made, Sagamore, Copper Fox. Come on, bro.
we haven't done filibuster yet.
Haven't been filibuster. I don't even know that. I'm gonna taste that shit, but just the kinetic energy, like
It's a serendipity there. Yeah.
oh my god.
That's a beautiful word right there.
Oh
well
my
put.
God.
Well put.
I'm gonna blend some spirits here. Okay, so I'm going to we were talking about filibuster, so I'm actually gonna use filibuster for this. This is their straight bourbon whiskey. Right now, the distillery is based in Virginia. Originally, it was born in DC, not like a block away from Capitol Hill, in a small liquor store.
And a liquor store.
That said, I'm also supporting local even more. So I have my Amaros, and then I have Ambrosia Aperitivo. That's going to be the sub for Aperol. And then I need some lemon juice. So I'm gonna get that real quick. Squeeze that off. So we're going in the same land, right? It's not too crazy different from what we started off with.
Okay.
So we're gonna move into something heavier later. I'm gonna start this off. We'll start off with the citrus.
See, this is the type of shit that I'm talking about. Okay? This is what makes the Bourbon Boyz the Bourbon Boyz and Metro Bar.
Absolutely.
Right? We willing
Absolutely.
to take risks and do different shit, man. Catch up.
And like we said, our whole concept too, Matt, is we bring the whiskey world into the hip hop world and the hip hop world into the whiskey world. That's what we do.
I don't think you could ask for a better marriage.
It's a beautiful marriage.
In all honesty.
You mentioned Rick Rubin earlier.
I did.
Give it Rick Rubin vibes.
Give it a little bit of
I am not that
It's
cool.
yours.
I am not that cool. But he's skinny now.
He lost, man.
He lost weight. He lost weight.
So that's
He
amazing
did.
what that yoga do to you. I need to fucking start doing yoga. Sheesh.
Here we go.
So
Here we go.
I got some.
There you go.
Rated right there.
I'll do what I can.
So what's
I,
this right there that you put? What's that?
This one right here is a Verna classic.
This segment of Bourbon Boyz is called Behind the Bar.
Behind the bar.
Behind the
I like
bar.
that. Sean.
The pour.
The pour.
The pour.
It's all.
The Bourbon Boyz presents The Pour with Metro Bar.
What a fucking
Clean classic.
The train.
Unbelievable. Train going by. Train going by. Hey, Rich. So, in your opinion,
Yeah.
what makes a dope bartender a dope bartender? Because I've got my thoughts on it, but like from an expert standpoint, like what makes somebody? Is
Did the guests leave happy?
Ah,
Jesus Christ! Did you? Hold on.
That's it.
God damn it! Got that on camera. Whatever. I always embarrass myself. It's fine. I got distracted. That's what happens too.
But that's
it is
key,
what it
though,
is.
right? Did the guests leave happy?
Did the guests leave happy?
happy?
Because like that's the other thing too, right? Like there's a. At the end of the day, this is the hospitality industry. Like it's not. it's an industry for a reason. There's a profession about it. There are people who all they do is they're experts and they consult on you buying stuff to make you happy and to make your guests happy. Like that's, you know what I mean? Like somebody slinging behind the bar, it doesn't matter what service they're doing. If they've lost sight of making the guest happy, then they're not a dope bartender. That's it.
Dope.
Like it doesn't matter. You got your dive bars, you got your clubs, you got your craft cocktail places, and then like even more like into it, like speakeasies, right? And you have like bar chefs and mixologists and like all of those things. At the end of the day, it's like, did you make the guests happy? Right. If you're in your own self and you're just like serving your own ego and you're like, oh, you're trying to prove yourself right over the guest and they are leaving like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna come back here again. You failed. That's it. It's a wrap.
I agree.
That's it.
As a patron, I couldn't agree more.
Yes,
Don't
exactly
make me
that.
feel stupid because I can't name
right.
what the fuck you put in my cocktail.
Like,
and you take
Words to live by.
Some people they go, oh, like, can I get Casamigos? Can I get Tito's? And it's really just for them to feel comfortable asking for something that they want. That's it. It's not necessarily like, oh, they don't know any better. They don't, maybe, but that's not their job to know.
That's
our job to know.
That's what they know.
So, you know, I mean, that's pretty much my philosophy on it. That makes any sense.
Let me ask you this. So without sharing your age, how long have you been doing this?
I started as a dishwasher under the table when I was 12.
Wow. Man, got a mini series coming out. A mini series.
12 as a dishwasher.
Yeah.
First of all, they broke all kinds of laws. When was this? 1912? Like child labor laws didn't exist? What the hell?
Woo! All right, so but I've been doing this a while. I've been I guess most recently I've been managing bars. You know, 3 years here. It was 2 years, almost 2 years with the Me. It was 3 years until I was promoted with Legal Seafoods. Like, I wasn't Legal Seafoods. I was. Yeah. Good place. By the way, paper plane is usually in one of these bad boys, and there's usually a paper plane, an actually folded one involved. We ain't doing that today. I don't have those glassware yet. So.
Look, it's the first time cocktails are being made into space. So.
Holy shit. We first, man.
Yeah, it's the first time the cocktails are being made into space. So. It's good stuff.
Guys, June 10th. June 10th,
man.
June 10th.
Celebrating 50 years of hip hop. We're celebrating Metro Bar and officially the first full event in the Metro car. When I tell you this thing was 75 feet long,
It is.
you guys had to cut this or break.
Cut it in half.
Cut it in half. How the hell did you didn't go through the city to get it? What'd you do?
Well, I mean, so.
Did you bring it in on paper planes?
No, we brought it. I wish it probably would have been a little.
It'd probably been cheaper.
No, we actually it's cut in half. It's on two 45-foot long trailers, and then we pulled it in with two pickup trucks. Used a forklift to straighten up this one, and then back this one up to it. Used the laser level to actually like get it as straight as we could, and then
Crazy.
kind of put it back together in the middle. But to my point earlier about restaurants, food and bev, like we can take it back apart really easily and move on to the next site after this one is done. So that was the only reason like why I got involved again.
On to the next.
Flexibility, flexibility of taking this and
be mobile,
creating a space for community where something is where there's nothing, you know?
Well, let's hope this isn't the express train.
No,
because we ain't going nowhere anywhere no time soon.
Got it? Thank y'all. Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate
brother.
you guys, man.
Salute.
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 Cheers.
Damn, I like Metro Buzz.
Woo!
That is good.
Good?
Come on.
Filibuster.
Filibuster did its thing.
this is
Good
a
job,
filibuster.
Filibuster.
Hey man.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Shout out to the guy the man, the myth, the legend.
No.
Richard Sterling.
Humble.
Richard
No.
Sterling. Yeah,
The man, the myth,
That
the
man.
legend. God
good right
damn
there.
this
I
shit.
mean, we may have the best outdoor bar in DC, but the goal for next year is the best cocktail program in DC.
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt, no doubt, no doubt, no doubt.
This shit is amazing, man.
Thank you. I'm glad y'all enjoy it. It's beautiful. It's
Are you
beautiful.
happy?
This is the shit that. This
I'm happy. I'm happy y'all are happy. This is like a dope, like a kick of dopamine. Like it's just beautiful for me. That's why I do it. Like that instant gratification is huge to me.
Bro,
No doubt,
Yeah.
no doubt.
you get a lot of sex off these drinks too. I'm gonna tell you why. Yo, bourbon is bourbon, but this shit like sexy, man. I'm a women. Like I don't drink that shit. And you give, oh, give me another one. Then another one. Then it's, am I going home with you? Or can we get your Uber together? Or are you taking me home like damsel in distress?
Brandon, are you?
What you trying to tell us, B?
These are damsel
Discriminating.
I'm just saying these are damsel in distress drinks.
Damsel in distress.
These are damsel in distress drinks. I came home and my friends left me, and if you give me one more, I just, I might not know what to do with myself.
I'm gonna leave that one right there. I'm gonna leave that right there. I ain't touching that. So, this is the part of the show where we get progressively drunk. And we talk a little bit of music.
Nice.
So, I just want to ask you guys, because he kind of took the words out of my mouth with the question that he asked early musically.
Sure.
I was wondering, like, as you guys are riding here, like you got this dope ass idea, right? Like, what song do you play to get in the mood to get into your business?
The bag.
Like me, I'll give you.
I'm good. I know exactly
good?
where I'm going.
No, go ahead. I'm not even going.
So this actually goes back to like where, for me, like kind of my first foray into hip hop rap would be when I started like playing basketball, just because like it flows and like to get things going. Little Rough Riders anthem. Like you can't. You want to get amped up. You want to go in like to get ready to go into like go do some battle. Like that's just like
right.
what it is.
Absolutely,
Like,
absolutely.
That's
You
what
can
I
run
got.
through a brick wall.
Yeah.
Rough
Listen,
Riders,
just Rough
it'll
Riders.
get you going.
You
For
go.
sure.
So like, that was
too.
Yeah.
It's so underrated what like inspiration. It's inspirational music, right?
Right.
You're looking for something to inspire you, motivate you, and you don't need anything negative. You want something that just kind of gets you to the point where you're like, okay, I want to be in a space where I'm ready to do this for the day. It's underrated. It's like even me when I'm going to work in the morning, I still want to hear shit that gets me in the state of mind where I'm ready to deal with whatever work I have to throw at me. You know what I mean? So, but it's a little different when you stuffy in a desk office than coming into here.
Steezo,
Very true.
You use that word inspiration, and when I think about inspiration or inspirational, I never want to down the new music that's out right now. I never want to be a hater. I never want to be that old guy to say, these youngins ain't talking about shit, they ain't doing shit. But when we talk about inspirational, like, we talk about music that puts you in a mood. We talk about music where you understand the words, the flow, and it puts you in a classic place and time in your life. Whether you hear it a year ago, 2 years ago, 3, 4, 10, 20 years ago, you're still in that moment. Now, for me, guys,
Vintage.
Nas, Halftime or Memory Lane always puts me in an element of, damn, if I was a rapper, that's the shit I said. Or if I was high off a little Chiba and some bourbon,
I love
it's
it.
the shit I would spew. Like,
That's me.
And me and you talked about Andre 3000 and how he put together words and how he put together music, and you gave a story on Dre. And it's like, do we have artists today, other than Kendrick or Cole, that can give us that feel, that punch?
For me,
Damn, everybody scratching their necks. Everybody looking around, everybody getting their tens.
because that's a difficult thing to do, especially with me being who I am today. But what I will say, when I go for a nostalgia-like experience musically, a lot of what I've been listening to is Ransom.
Oh my God.
I'm a big fan of Ransom.
Ransom. If you guys aren't on Director's
big fan
Cut
of Ransom.
4 with Wes Craven.
Nicholas Craven.
Nicholas. No, I'm sorry, Nicholas Craven.
Yeah, so we got his
Oh
new
my
album
God.
out, Director's Cut 4.
Director's Cut 4. Jesus Christ.
It's
big shout out, man.
It's a dope album, man. But he has a rare ability. First of all, I appreciate his transformation as an artist. Cause I remember him back on fucking Fabulous album. It was a Joe, it was a, might have been the last track of this old Fabulous album. Joe Budden was featured on it, Ransom was featured on it, and he don't sound anything like he sounds like today as an artist.
Right.
He sounds like an artist that they probably coached to rap a certain way.
Right. Then.
So to see him transform and find his space and who he is as an artist and be exactly what he should have always been, that in itself is nostalgic. Like, yo, you was out when they was really trying to mold you into a commercial artist. And then you got out of all of that shit, got out of the label, and started just doing you. And look where you at. You know what I mean?
Double. Do you remember me one time telling you, I think I heard Bar Shah. Like, I don't know if y'all know about Bar Shah. This is early 90s, new classic hip hop shit. You remember I told you, I think I heard Bar Shah? Yo, it was freaking Ransom.
I remember.
It was Ransom.
Yeah, I remember.
So for me, right now, what gets me in a space where I'm like hip hop head, riding, chilling, working out, it doesn't matter.
Jogging.
Just laying around the house, like I can just listen to his music, man. So Ransom for me is, I mean, he's not a new artist, but the transformation into who he is as an artist, that's me right now.
Any newer artist that's rocking y'all souls like that right now, man?
Soul, no.
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 Right.
It's
But
tough.
damn.
No.
To be honest,
Damn.
though, like there was a time where like I'm looking for new music all the time.
Yeah.
Now I'm working so much, I just want, like, it's a comfort thing now, right? I'm just going to like old artists, or like if they're putting out new projects, I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta jump on that. I'm listening to like old artists I used to listen to putting out new projects, and and then like I'm sometimes going down a nostalgia trip and going down old projects in general. I mean I like, I'm an apologist for like triplets in general, like, you know, the whole mumble rap, like but I'm listening to it for like the triplets, like that, like how they're rhyming, like that.
I tried, brother.
I know.
I tried, brother.
Yeah.
The melody.
Yeah, there's a melody, and then like where they're landing on the bar,
it's
like
tough.
it's
When
I'm appreciating. But it was a time, you know what I mean? It's like,
But it feels like when we say this, it feels like people our age will say, well, I'm not listening to the words, I'm listening to the beat. And I'm like, motherfucker, the rhymes is the beat too.
the rhymes,
It's an instrument.
they transform the beat.
It transforms.
They transform the beat.
I don't want to hear, like, what's that, man?
So, do we have any all-time great artists in the industry right now that came out, just say in the last 5 to 10 years?
I mean, outside of the two that you listed,
Cole and Kendrick.
Cole and Kendrick. I mean, like, I don't think you like those.
Future.
Yeah.
Drake.
Drake.
Gotta throw Drake up there.
I know that's your guy, man.
He's not my guy.
You're my guy.
But he's not my guy. He's just not my guy.
Look,
Look, like he makes like if I told you I don't have him on playlist, that would be lying. Like I have him on playlist, but there's certain playlists, right? Like it's not.
It's not feasible.
Right. It's just like it's a party. It's a this. It's a that. It's not like my go-to. That's all.
All right. Here's my criteria. I always shift criteria, right?
Sure.
So my criteria in judging whether I think an artist is an all-time great, if I know at least 10 of your fucking songs,
All right.
even
That's
if
fair,
I
that's
don't
fair,
like
that's
you,
fair.
even if I don't like you, like Beyonce, I'm not a Beyonce fan at all. I know 10 Beyonce. I like 10 Beyonce songs.
Fair.
I freaking like 10 Beyonce.
But in fairness, Beyonce been out 20 years.
But
it doesn't matter.
But no,
So let's keep the window 10 years. Let's say 10 years.
No, but in fairness, what I want you to do, because you're my guy, I want you to give me that spill on Biggie Smalls, the genius, the guy that had the whole package, the best MC. Even though you're a KRS-One guy and I know you and I love you and I know that's your guy, I need that spill on Biggie. Let's get raw, man.
Okay, I mean, look,
Let's get fucking
so
raw.
we just looked at the Biggie, the Angie Martinez,
Let's go.
video blog, whatever,
go.
where she's interviewing all of these people who had something to do with Biggie's second album, Life After Death, right?
Right.
Okay.
So they want to say that KRS-One is my favorite rapper. He might be, but the Notorious B.I.G. I think is the best rapper of all time. I think when it
And
comes
we're not mad at that.
to storytelling, voice quality, Jay-Z's incredible, but he doesn't have a voice that Biggie had. Biggie is fucking Louis Armstrong with his voice.
Gotcha.
He had a cheat code.
The cheat code.
Biggie was a cheat code because you should not have that dope voice in those dope lyrics. Most dudes with dope lyrics don't have a dope voice and vice versa.
Freestyles.
Songwriting ability.
Songwriting.
Freestyles. Biggie was the first rap artist, in my opinion, who could make a commercial record that street dudes would still like. Really think about it. Before that, the commercial records, you might like the artist, but you might not particularly love that record.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But then turn around and have all the girls in the club jiggling too, huh?
I mean, think about it. One More Chance, the remix of One More Chance was
my God.
It was fucking incredible.
Remember the raw version we
Unicorn.
heard? Shout out to Kill. Hey, Kilpatrick, thank you, brother. We got the raw version from you first that wasn't even out on album, wasn't out in stores. Man, the mix down was
Totally
poor,
underground.
but we heard Biggie voice.
So, and we talked about this earlier, the art of storytelling. Because the thing about it is, Biggie was an incredible storyteller.
Who's telling stories now?
And you talked about earlier how music is about storytelling.
Yeah.
So with that said, give me your top 3 storytellers in music history. Not even just rap.
They shooting from the hip
But
today.
music
No,
history.
yeah, I know.
Storytellers.
And it ain't gotta be, you said hip hop or no? Or anything.
Just music.
Music.
Because we got some incredible, Willie Nelson was an incredible storyteller.
Oh, man, the Beatles.
Like the Beatles, incrable. So you got
This is my top. Oh wow!
this
This is huge. This is huge. I mean,
Huge.
I'm gonna go with Bob Dylan.
Damn.
I mean, you gotta.
You can speak to
No,
why.
you got no, but you no, just like it's Bob Dylan. Like all of those songs in the time, like the stories that he was telling, the period of life that he was living, all the turmoil in the United States at that time. Like he was just like facts to power, like the whole thing, like all of that. I mean,
The great Bob Marley.
no. That I mean, sure, but I'm gonna like in my mind, like
It's a good one.
I'm gonna go with Jay-Z just because like time storytelling up and down 995, like back and forth, like the whole nine, like that's like
Bob Dylan, Jay-Z. I love it.
I
love it.
And then to close out the third in terms of storytelling, like very controversial pick here, but I'm gonna go with Eminem just because he has
That ain't controversial.
lyrically, like he can tell he's like like
Rich,
Stan,
are
like
you
Stan in
thinking?
general,
Are you
like
thinking?
that's just that's what I got.
Not
Yo, I
mad
like
at
them.
Eminem at all.
I like
Not mad
this
at
shit.
Eminem.
Yeah.
Because
That's what I
feel
got.
like Stan, I ain't gonna lie,
It's messed up story.
Stan might be my fucking favorite storytelling rap. It's top 5 of all time.
Top 5 for
It's
sure.
top
It's a story.
Top 5.
Stan gotta be top
I mean,
5.
because the way he elevated.
Two artists just recently came out and made a song using that entire melody and tempo.
The brilliance of that record is him going through the psychology of this crazy dude.
Yeah.
Right.
And you
starts
saw this
cool,
crazy. You saw this crazy mofo.
And then it elevates to the point in the third verse where he's just like crazed.
Right.
He didn't even get the letter.
Right.
Yeah.
Didn't even
Too late. He
Right.
saw something
Right.
on the news and then said, "Yo,
Oh, that was you.
Yeah.
Like when he says that, you're just like, oh.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. The twist and turn
Hey
he took
guys,
with that record.
hey guys, I'm gonna go real fast. I'm gonna go super fast. I'm gonna go super fast. I'm a Nas guy, but I'm going with Biggie first.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going with Nas second. Slick Rick third, and right on Slick Rick's behind is Scarface. Y'all go.
Yes. Okay.
Scarface.
Go ahead.
Yeah, he just keeps. Oh man. So Jay-Z for sure. Like that's
That's
like,
your one?
That's my number one.
Okay.
Because like
Definitely.
you know,
Can't go
there
wrong.
was that
Can't go
whole
wrong.
scandal
Can't go wrong.
where like you know he cheated on Beyonce and then he came out with an album and it was his entire emotional arc.
Ooh,
like, how
444.
he- You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
That was an entire fucking story.
He owned it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he framed
Of
it
a
in such
growing
way where
man.
it's just
Yeah.
like, how are we as men? How are we as black men in America? Like, how do we serve our women in like a
Treat your
constructive
queen,
way?
treat your queen.
Exactly that.
No, 444 was dope.
Royce the 5'9". This is just. This is like.
Boys.
Royce.
So did you like Book of You?
I
Book
love
of Rhymes?
all his projects, man. I love all his
Royce
projects.
is crazy.
But piggybacking on that to the earlier question, like what gets us amped like to get into work, like part of like what speaks to me, because like I'm a perfectionist and I also used to be like a people pleaser.
Stay on storyteller.
I'm staying on it because it's both of them.
Lupe
Song Wait by Royce da 5'9" is like one of my favorite songs.
I gotta check that
Because
out.
he's telling a story about like all the things that he like has to respond to and is calling on his like on his capacities, and he's just like, yo, like at the end of the day I have a son, I have a wife, like make them wait. Like this is important.
Wait.
Yeah, wait.
You just put the Bourbon Boyz over there some shit.
I'm gonna check that one out. I don't know if I heard Wait. And I really fuck with Royce. That's my guy. That's my guy.
Listen to that song, man. It's just 2 verses and he just goes
Okay.
in.
I'm gonna check it
I'm
out.
on it. I'm on it tonight.
I'm getting the whip. I'm gonna listen to it.
I'm on it tonight.
For me, definitely Nas. You know, that's my guy. Like he's been a storyteller since day
Oh
one.
my God. Paint a picture so clear. You see it.
Yeah, I definitely gotta go with Nas. I gotta keep it 1,000. Terrence Trent D'Arby. I gotta keep it 1,000.
Damn.
Terrence Trent D'Arby is probably one of my. I remember when he came out and said, "I'm just as good as Prince and Michael Jackson and Stevie Wonder," and people he blackballed him. He was like canceled because he even compared himself.
Was that
to
before
those
he
guys.
started smoking crack?
This was.
You smoking crack?
Time out.
Yo, you know what?
You see, here's what's sad. See, he gotta judge my shit, right? But what's sad is this though. You haven't gone down the rabbit hole of Terrence Trent D'Arby. So you don't know. You don't know Sananda Matre. You don't know.
Those 3 CDs when I go home.
I am feeling.
No disrespect to Terrence Trent D'Arby.
I'm feeling.
You gonna name 3 rappers anyway, so it don't matter.
Yo,
I don't name 3 rappers, but I'm naming my favorite storytellers. Okay? I can't wait to hear you. Whoever you name, I'm judging. I'm gonna tell you that much.
He on some Kendrick Lupe fiasco shit right now.
That was arrogant for me to jump in there. I'm sorry.
No chance, yo.
He only saying that because he don't want me to say shit when he say his 3 artists.
All right, come on, Shirley. Come on, Shirley.
So like I said,
Terrence
Nas.
D'Arby. He said smoking crack.
Terrence Trent D'Arby for sure.
Okay.
And listen, you said my guy, but I'm gonna keep it 1,000.
Face Mob?
Still, absolutely. Scarface.
Da-da-da-da.
They don't get Scarface probably is the first rapper that ever cried to a rap song. Listening to him.
He put out a project
That song
3
with-
years ago, 4 years ago. It was like
He did.
very recent.
Yeah, he put out a project a few years ago, but I'm talking about the song that really had me like, yo, open up like, damn, was him, Jigga, and Beanie Siegels.
Damn!
Walked into the studio to do this with Jig. I got a phone call from one of my niggas. He said, my homeboy Reed, he just lost one of his kids. And when I heard that shit, I broke into tears. I was like,
Damn.
you don't really know how it is until that shit hit that close to home at the crib. So I called mine and saddened my wife with the bad
It's
news.
storytelling.
Now we both
Storytelling!
depressed. And counting our blessings because Brad's too. Come on, man.
Yeah, one of the best. One of the
Good
best.
God.
best.
That's my 3.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Oh, name my 3 songs.
Besides Terrence Trent D'Arby.
See? Okay. Shout out to Terrence Trent. TTD,
So-
what up, Holmes?
All right, so 2 of my 3 is gonna be kind of easy.
Okay.
Notorious B.I.G.
Absolutely.
Number 1.
Absolutely.
Look, Warning, just unbelievable record. Like,
Yeah.
give me
Who the
the
fuck is this?
He's remember on like Bugs Bunny there was this like it was a little dog and a big dog and the little dog was jumping around the big dog all the time. That's what he did on Give Me the Loot. He was like the
Yeah,
little dog and the big dog.
That's true. That's true.
Chill, shorty, let me do that. Like, it's crazy.
He did 3 voices, bro.
That's what I'm saying. He not
three
only
voices.
told the stories,
He was 3 voices.
he switched the voice tone.
3
and
characters.
texture.
Yeah.
Yes.
3 characters.
Yeah.
Unbelievable
You
storytelling.
better have KRS-One in your shit.
No.
Stop. Why you always trying to add who
Stop
people
trying
supposed to have?
Give me my list. Don't give me my list.
Jesus.
Can I take my list?
Just no more your ass.
All right. Nas Escobar, of course. Nas unbelievable, weaving stories, unbelievable.
Amazing.
And my 3rd, Nina Simone.
Oh.
I'm going Nina Simone.
I can't hate on Nina Simone. I love her.
All right.
It got hot in here, man. God damn.
No, I think
storytelling.
everybody
Yeah.
had, what I love about it is that it's your personal experience.
Yeah.
Ain't
Your
nobody
personal
hold
walk.
back. You gotta say what you love and what you love, man. I appreciate it. You shitted
Wicked
on my man.
well,
Shitted on my man. But that's fine though, bro. That's
Don't
fine.
say.
You got enough. You got
I was gonna say Lupe Fiasco, but I was gonna fuck
I
up
was
if I
too.
said that.
But I'll say.
But no Mos Def.
13 ain't good.
I love Mos.
Oh, unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I love Mos.
I'm shocked.
But what would I put KRS? It's one of my favorite rap. But would I put him over Biggie and Nas
In storytelling?
in terms of rappers with story? No, I can't do that.
Can't do it.
Nas is my guy.
That's
Nas is my guy. I'm gonna say KRS-One right there.
And when we did, I think who said Slick Rick?
I did.
He did.
Oh yeah, because we doing Slick Rick a disjustice.
Injustice.
Because
Lottie Dottie.
Let's give it up for the bourbon.
Lottie Dottie.
Oh, we're in the
Lottie
zone
Dottie-
now. We are in the
Lottie
zone.
Dottie might be one of the greatest stories ever told that we will talk about and think about in years to come.
100%. I meant disservice and injustice mixed up together. My bad. So that's what I did.
Cocktail.
There's the goddamn. But Slick Rick, children's story. Jesus
Oh, my
Christ.
kids to this day.
Daddy,
play
does
children's
not know
story.
that song word
Dave
for
the dope fiend.
Don't know the meaning of water or soap. Yeah, it was
word?
crazy.
Unbelievable story. Come
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
Unbelievable. Hey, young world.
Hey, young
Treat her like a
world.
prostitute.
The
Yeah.
moment I
The
feel.
moment I fit. Come on, man.
Shout out Slick Rick. And what
He
you
was a
did,
shout out Ricky
what you
D.
did with West Side Gun on that song with Busta
Oh,
Rhymes,
my God.
insane.
And he was the archetype because before Slick Rick, there were storytellers. I mean, Go See the Doctor, Kumo D. I mean, you had a bunch of storytellers before Slick Rick,
Right.
but Slick Rick cemented himself as the best storyteller in that era of hip hop. No doubt about it.
All right.
Can I?
Real quick, the switch speeds.
I was about to switch it to you, bro.
Shift gears. We talked about top 3 storytellers, but we haven't talked about our top 3 drinks. Cocktail, neat, on the rocks. We're doing a disservice
A disservice.
if we don't do that sitting in the metro car.
In Beats Boss Bourbon.
And listen, I'll start it out. I don't mind starting it.
If you want me to kick it off, I kick it off.
Go for it, Brian. We go in order like this.
Basil Hayden,
So that's it.
Gucci belt.
Okay.
Are we going cocktails or?
Well, this is neat cocktail. What is it?
Oh man, you know I just like a splash of ginger. Y'all know me. Come on, you motherfuckers know me.
Basil Hayden with a splash of ginger. We
You
got.
motherfuckers know
We'll
me.
classify that as a
3
cocktail.
cubes of ice, a little splash of ginger, man. Come on. Yo, Basil Hayden. Maker's Mark.
He keeps it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makers with a what?
Splash of ginger. Splash of ginger. Fuck y'all. Listen, my guy put me on to Eagle Rare. Yo, Eagle Rare is right
You don't
there.
need no ginger ale in that. Ooh. You don't put no. Come on. That's on the rocks, right?
Hey, yo,
Disrespectful.
some shit don't need a tss or needs a t-
Of what?
That's fair.
ginger.
That's
Why y'all keep
shuts
saying
you down.
ginger, man? Ginger! It cures the world! That's called
I ain't
ginger.
against it, man.
Look, I ain't
you got?
gonna.
What you got, Steve?
I ain't gonna knock. I ain't knock ginger ale. You know,
You better not, motherfucker.
I fuck with you. I fuck with it.
Whiskey snob.
Don't you dare call me no whiskey snob.
Got a whiskey snob.
No, don't do that. All right, I would say Eagle Red Neat. I could probably drink that shit like every day. It's so smooth for me. I love Eagle Red.
Super smooth. Super smooth.
Really love Eagle Rare. Blanton's.
Blanton's,
Neat.
okay.
Okay.
Gotta go neat. And then, keeping it 1,000, I can't remember what Evan Williams it was, but it was an Evan Williams old fashioned. And I had it, I think I had it at, what's the name of that restaurant?
Say.
Down at the National Harbor.
You better say.
That shit was so good, man.
You better say Uncle Nerds.
So old fashioned. So I go Eagle Red Neat,
Nerds.
I go Blanton's Neat,
Blanton's.
and I go
Everything neat.
old fashioned.
That's why we stumble in the end of the night.
I go old fashioned. That's false.
Not false.
Old fashioned is my last one. Never muddled. I like it. Simple syrup, bitters. That Evan Williams was hitting. But if I can't get a hold of Evan Williams, I can never remember the name of that shit. Uncle Nearest.
Better have it. All right. All right.
Hey,
1884.
All right, 1884. Okay.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got some.
See, my top 3 is gonna be different, so it's not gonna have the one from
Man,
earlier
spit
in
it.
it. I'll
Spit
go
your
with
bars.
Rip Van Winkle 10.
Damn,
That's
What
like
the
number 1.
Rip Van
Neat.
Winkle 10.
Yeah, like
he
that's
said
really
neat.
good. Neat, straight up neat. Just
I need
boom.
to try this shit. Rip Van Winkle 10.
You're gonna have to come over.
Yeah, to get a hold of that.
He said he had a crazy selection.
I have
Hey,
a,
look.
I have
Rip
a
Van
decent.
Winkle.
I have a decent selection. Rip Van Winkle 10. That's my number 1. My number 2, I think I'll go with. the larceny barrel
That's a
proof.
good- that's a
Because
good
like
fucking
it's like
whiskey.
that's got that peanut butter and like on the end like that's a nice dessert. Like I love it to close the night out. And then for the third one,
Van Winkle 10.
no,
Larson.
I'm gonna go with. I mean, look, the Eagle Rare is nice,
man.
but like, oh man,
The 10-year age, yeah, sure.
no. Honestly, it is the District Made Untitled number 13, which is you can't really find it anymore. But I got through 2 or 3 of the bottles stashed at the house. I told you I bought all the rest I found in the city on Drizzly.
Those Untitled
So,
are
like,
crazy.
like-
And the story behind them is super dope.
Yeah. So those are my 3. All me, like
I love it.
call
I
it
love
done.
Okay, so the best experience I had drinking anything was the Latoche 1953. It's a red wine. There you go.
Damn.
Love it.
Damn.
Latoche.
Like I enjoy wine. So like one of my go-tos is a dry rosé. I don't like it sweet, honestly. Like, and I'm open. I like to find out like what a bar has. Give me some dry rosé. It's beautiful. After work, I just want some rye whiskey, and like Rittenhouse rye is like solid. If
Uncle
anything-
Nearest has a rye too.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
It's good.
Yeah. Not everybody has it though.
They don't. They don't.
If I go to a bar, I'm like, can I get a ride? Yeah, Rittenhouse. All right, cool. I'll get that. So that's where I'm at.
Okay.
What's up? What's up? So with me, I'm going cocktails, at least for my first 2. So a good whiskey sour with egg white.
Okay.
I gotta get it done with the egg white though. Like it's just
Hey, look,
it's a different.
I love it. I love it, man. I
It is a
love
different
it.
experience.
Frosty, that
Everybody,
blend.
everybody's palate.
It's a mouthfeel thing, right? Like 100%.
Yeah. Pause. Yeah.
Which whiskey though? Which whiskey?
It doesn't. You know what? I can do it with several different whiskeys. But I keep it simple and do it with makers. Yeah, I keep it simple and do it with makers. Like I like it. Because that's just my go-to when I go out.
Right.
Like a lot of bars don't have like a huge selection. So I wind up, depending on where I go, everybody's
Sagamore actually makes a good whiskey sour with the egg yolk, the egg white.
Yeah,
They
they
make
do.
one.
They do.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
Old fashioned. Because I'm usually in a mood, like when I'm drinking, I'm usually trying to decompress, vibe out, zone out.
Yeah.
So a good old fashioned. I could do the muddled fruit or not. I take it just without most likely.
Yeah.
And then a good Merlot with dinner, man. Like
Yeah.
That's my 3. Yeah.
So no Blantons?
No
I love
Blanton.
Blantons. Love
Okay.
Blantons, but
Not saying no to Blanton.
no, because I went cocktail, because I can do
You went
those-
cocktails
those
and then you
first
went
2
Merlot for 3,
with
yeah.
several different
Whiskeys,
choices.
yeah,
with
yeah.
several different whiskeys. But
Like just like with our musical choices for storytelling, it's the same when it comes to your drinks, man. Your palate is yours, man. That's one of the things Alex said. Yo, shout out again to District Made.
Yes.
One of the things Alex said when we did the tour and the tasting with him, he was like, man, you know what? You know, because there were people that hadn't tasted this or that, and I was the first to say, yo, I hate gin. I tasted it before, and it was like Seager's
that
gin
shit
or with
was
some
sharp.
other shit.
Yeah.
I don't do it, gin and tonic. I had a buddy of mine, he loved gin and tonic. He said, Steve, just try mine. I said, fair enough. It's good. It's really good. So he's like, you know what, your palate will tell you what is right for you.
My palate told me I felt
Never
spacey.
judge.
Like I did a edible or shrooms or something.
yeah, your palate was talking to you that day.
Yeah.
God
What?
damn. Because that hit you hard.
He didn't even drink the gin. He was pushing the gin away.
Because I took one sip and I felt my body.
Yeah, I'm about to say, took a sip of it.
In a body experience where I was just like, hold up, ET phone home.
My mother-in-law says the same thing about people. She says like, you drink gin, you're crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it was good.
Crazy.
What is it? The
Nuts, though.
botanicals with what they do and
Yeah.
how they make them. I was just like, yo, I can taste this and taste that. I was like, yo, I wouldn't buy a bottle, but if I was there,
It was good, but
You wouldn't have it over for dinner.
I wouldn't have it for dinner. But I wouldn't meet her
You're
at the
gonna
local.
have to cut this
cheers.
because Alex don't want to hear that.
No, I wouldn't. But if I was there and I was at District Made, Alex was like, Steve, I'm gonna make you a drink with gin. I drink. I'm like, okay, let's do it.
Now you're just being polite.
No, it's the truth.
There it is.
This shit rock this soul.
I hate it other than when Alex is making it.
I don't want it.
I freaking hate it.
Because I don't know what the fuck to do with it. I'm gonna take it home. What am I mixing this shit with? I don't know how to
That's
drink this.
that's fair.
Right,
That's
you know
fair.
what I mean?
That's
Like,
fair.
I feel
it
right.
has to be made.
You
a
gotta
way
be able to do
enjoy it.
something with it, right? Like
Yeah.
gin's not something that at least I'm not going to just drink on the rocks
This
or
is
like
real,
straight up.
real
Like nope.
bourbon conversation, guys. This is real
Real
bourbon.
Like with
whiskey
bourbon, you're
conversation.
like fine. Like yeah, no, I'll drink it on the rocks or I can put it in a drink. Like fine. Like either way.
Yeah. I got it.
Gin is not that sort of that spirit.
tough.
I mean,
Guys.
are people drinking gin straight?
That's Andy Cap status right there.
Right.
Come on.
Drinking gin straight.
Right. No
Andy
one's
Cap
drinking
right
straight.
there.
Right.
So
I would never.
so
I do like gin cocktails. A couple gin cocktails.
Yes.
so July.
No disrespect to gin.
All love gin.
July. Where will we be, Steve? Where will we be in July?
You mean?
Say,
So first of all, we'll be here June 10th.
June 10th.
Before we talk about July, let's talk about June 10th.
June 10th.
3 p.m. to 7 p.m. and rocking beyond that. Bourbon Boys are gonna be here rocking out with the Metro Bar team. We got Matt.
Yeah.
We got Rich. I don't know. Hopefully Jesse's here. Hopefully John's
Jesse's
here.
here.
Hopefully the whole team is here because we gonna be here.
Celebrating the 50th anniversary
50 years of hip-hop, man.
With Harry Hodder.
Yes.
Understand the
DJ
DJ,
Harry Hodder.
that's going to be in your company that night. Please.
Gonna be crazy.
With a bourbon tasting before the event kicks off. Right here.
Whiskey tasting.
Right here.
Because I think we mixed in
Yeah.
some rye. We got bourbon and rye with the tasting, right?
Yes.
So it's bourbon and rye with the whiskey tasting. Amazing shit is partly what we've been drinking. We also got some dope ass specialty cocktails curated by none other than Rich.
Rich, what's the name of it? Do you know the name of the cocktails?
Which one?
Is
What
it
we're gonna be doing
the
for the
Biggie
event.
Smalls? What is it? The Old Dirty Bastard? What we got? What we got, man? Come on, they want
The
to know.
Wu-Tang Forever.
The Wu-Tang.
TBD.
I love that. I love that.
July.
June, and then in July, July we got, which gotta give my man right here credit for that. He pretty much found out about this. Much as I've gone to New Orleans, I had no idea this was going on. Tales of the Cocktail. So we got
Tales of the Cocktail.
Nice. Oh,
We
we'll
there.
be there.
We're going to be
Hell yeah.
content curators at this event. And
conference.
I'm almost expecting it to be exactly like the whiskey washback.
On steroids.
On steroids.
You're talking about
On
15 to
steroids.
20,000 tickets sold
Right,
for
no
that
doubt. It's
event.
the biggest
It's gonna be
cocktail
crazy.
conference in the country.
Rich has been there.
You've been
You
to
been there?
Tails?
We haven't. This is
Yeah.
our
That's
first
right. You
time.
told us about it. That's right.
Yeah, I was at Tails.
Hey, look, I was at Tails. Fuck the cocktails, I was at Tails.
Yeah. Tails of the Cocktail. You're gonna have a great time. You know?
Yeah.
It's gonna be nuts.
Looking forward to it.
You know, like there's different flavors of Tails, and it's constantly happening at all times. It's like you
Gotta
can
pace
go to
yourself.
a seminar and learn more. You can go shopping and like meet and greet, or you can just party.
Yeah.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
And
too.
it's from literally like from the beginning of the day until the start of the next day. Like it's just
Holy
continuous. What it is.
Holy.
Yeah.
Get my sleep before I get
Listen,
there, man.
So your boys will be at Tails.
Tails.
my
All
sleep
prayers,
for
all
that.
prayers
Yeah.
due.
No, for sure.
The guy, the instrument, the engine, the transmission behind this camera will be with us doing the same goddamn thing he's doing right now.
Absolutely.
Mocha!
Call him
Give it
Big
up for Mo
Mocha.
Banks. Mo Banks.
Big Banks, man.
Yeah.
Yo, this was super dope. Again, man, I appreciate you.
No, thank you guys for coming
Rich,
through.
appreciate
Absolutely,
you, man.
man. Y'all the best, man.
You guys
For
having
sure.
us here. We're
Appreciate
so
you
excited
guys,
about
man.
June 10th. And that's a wrap, man. Another episode in the books. Bourbon Boys.
Do.
Dope certified.